If hard work built wealth, your parents would be millionaires. But here you are, working, saving, doing everything right, and still feeling stuck. The problem isn't you. It's the outdated money advice you were taught. No one told you how compound interest actually works, or that the rule of 72 could have doubled your money if you just started earlier. This isn't about earning more, it's about learning faster. One simple shift in mindset can turn your paycheck into real, lasting wealth. And I'm going to show you how. A lot of people wake up early, hit traffic, work hard all day, and still end up broke at the end of the month. The issue isn't laziness, it's lack of financial education. When every paycheck is funneled straight into a savings account earning crumbs, that's a recipe for financial stagnation. Without understanding compound interest, people watch time pass while their money just sits there, doing absolutely nothing. You can have all the financial discipline in the world, but if it's not paired with smart strategy, you're just spinning your wheels. What many don't realize is this: not investing is a choice, and it's one that leads straight to missed opportunities. Inflation keeps creeping up, quietly stealing your purchasing power every year. That same $100 you saved 5 years ago, it buys way less now. This is how people stay stuck. They're disciplined, but they're trapped in a system that punishes them for playing it safe. If you're not thinking about investment, you're handing your future over to chance. Now imagine this. Instead of letting your money nap in a low-yield account, what if you turned it into a passive income machine? A simple REIT, real estate investment trust, for example, could outpace your savings and pay you monthly. But it takes a shift from save to survive to invest to thrive. That's how wealth starts to grow. And that's exactly what Gabriel stumbled into, all because of a chat he didn't see coming. Lucas was your average IT guy. Quiet, hardworking, loyal to his job, and religiously putting part of his paycheck into a savings account every month. To him, that felt like the responsible thing to do. No one ever told him about the rule of 72 or that compound interest could turn his modest savings into a path toward financial freedom. One day, over coffee, he started chatting with an old college friend who'd gone into finance. That's when the light bulb went off. His friend asked one simple question: "Do you know how long it'll take your money to double at 6%? Lucas had no idea. 12 years, his friend said. But if you earn 12%, it would take only 6. That's the rule of 72. Lucas's jaw practically hit the table. That tiny difference in return, it meant his money multiplication was crawling when it could have been sprinting. It wasn't about how much he earned, it was about how he used it. From that day on, Lucas started questioning everything he thought he knew about savings and wealth, He began reading books like The Millionaire Next Door and Rich Dad Poor Dad, diving into YouTube channels on financial mindset and investment basics. The more he learned, the clearer it became. His so-called safe strategy was actually the most expensive decision of his life. And that curiosity pushed him to explore something that would blow his mind. A simple little formula that changed everything. Let's break down this powerful little gem called the Rule of 72. It's a simple mental math trick, but it can totally shift how you see money multiplication. Just take the number 72 and divide it by your expected annual return. Boom, you get the number of years it takes to double your money with compound interest. For example, 72 divided by 12%, that's 6 years. Let that sink in. Your money doubling every 6 years, no magic tricks, just math and strategy. Now picture this. Lucas puts $10,000 into an asset that gives him 12% annually. In 6 years, he's got $20,000. In 12 years, $40,000. Give it 18 years and he's staring at $80,000, all from a single initial investment. That's the raw power of compound interest and understanding time as a financial tool. The Rule of 72 isn't just a trick. It's a lens to see the future value of money, especially if your goal is wealth and long-term financial freedom. What's wild is how few people know about this. They'll spend hours researching which phone to buy, but won't spend 10 minutes learning how investment actually works. And here's the kicker. Once Lucas learned the Rule of 72, he realized his old savings account, with its 6% return, was actually slowing him down. That made him rethink where his money was sitting, and opened his eyes to something even more concerning. Lucas used to feel proud of his growing savings account. It felt safe, responsible, adulting at its finest. But after learning the Rule of 72, he ran the numbers. At a 6% return, it would take 12 years to double his money. That's an entire decade just to turn $10,000 into $20,000. And that's if inflation doesn't eat a chunk of it along the way. The safety of a savings account? It was costing him years of potential wealth. Let's put it into perspective. Imagine someone saving diligently for their kids' college, stashing away money every month in a low-yield account. Meanwhile, inflation's quietly rising at 4 to 5% a year. So even if your money doubles in 12 years, its buying power might actually shrink. It's like running on a treadmill thinking you're going somewhere. This is why understanding inflation is just as crucial as learning about compound interest. Lucas began to realize that financial discipline without direction can feel like walking in circles. He wasn't lazy or reckless, he just lacked the right map. That false sense of security kept him trapped in financial stagnation, thinking he was doing the right thing while slowly falling behind. But once he opened his eyes to smarter investment vehicles, things started to shift. And then, he discovered something that made his jaw drop: the true power of compounding. Lucas decided to test what he'd learned. He plugged some numbers into an online compound interest calculator. Let's say he invested $10,000 at a 12% annual return and never added another dime. In 30 years, that single move would grow into over $320,000. No extra work, no hustle, just letting time and math do the heavy lifting. That's money multiplication at its finest. And if he threw in just $300 a month, he'd cross the $500,000 mark. Effortless? Not exactly, but simple? Absolutely. That's the beauty of exponential growth. It starts slow, then takes off like a rocket. At first, it feels like nothing's happening. Years 1 through 5 might seem boring, but once it hits that tipping point, it snowballs. Lucas went from anxious saver to confident investor just by understanding how compound interest rewards patience. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-for-sure strategy if you give it time and consistency. He stopped obsessing over overnight results and focused on building long-term wealth. While his friends were stressing about crypto spikes or chasing the next big thing, Lucas kept his cool. His portfolio? A solid mix. Index funds like VTI, a few REITs for passive income, and some dividend stocks like KO and J&J. Nothing flashy, just smart, disciplined investing. And yet, something even more powerful started changing in Lucas. Not his portfolio, but his mindset. Lucas didn't win the lottery. He didn't land a six-figure job. What changed? His financial mindset. He realized that wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how you think, how you manage, multiply, and move your money. Meanwhile, his friend Marcos, who actually earned more, kept living paycheck to paycheck, buried in credit card debt and chasing shiny things. Same age, different mental game. Marcos believed you had to make a lot to invest. Lucas learned that you just have to start early and stay consistent. Marcos kept waiting for a raise to finally get ahead. Lucas stopped waiting and started using what he already had. He understood that the real power isn't in the money itself, but in the habits and beliefs you attach to it. That's the kind of mental shift that opens the door to financial freedom, not some magical increase in income. Lucas stopped trying to look rich and started working on becoming rich. Instead of dropping money on the newest gadgets, he used that same cash flow to build passive income streams. Little by little, his decisions began compounding, not just financially, but mentally. He was thinking long-term, acting with purpose. But the real advantage? He started earlier than most. And that one choice, that changed everything. Lucas started running the numbers again, and this time he imagined he was 20 years old with just $200 a month to spare. At a 12% annual return, by the time he turned 50, he'd have over $1 million. No inheritance, no big salary, just compound interest doing what it does best. That's the power of starting early. Time isn't just an advantage, it's the entire strategy. The earlier you begin, the less you have to invest to build massive wealth. Most people underestimate how much money multiplication depends on time, not amount. Start investing at $20 and $200 a month can make you a millionaire. Start at 30 and you'll need nearly double. Start at 40 and you might never catch up, unless you crank up the monthly contributions like crazy. It's not about perfection, it's about positioning. Lucas didn't regret not starting at 20, but he swore his kids would. He began sharing this with his younger cousins, students, even coworkers fresh out of college. Just start, he'd say. Doesn't matter if it's $50 or $500, get in the game. He pointed them to tools like the Rule of 72, apps like Robinhood or New Invest, and books like The Psychology of Money. The earlier they learned, the easier the road to financial freedom. But not everyone took his advice. Some still clung to fears, myths, and outdated beliefs. Lucas noticed something strange. Even when he shared clear, powerful truths, like how compound interest works or how inflation silently kills savings, many people still shrugged it off. What if I lose money? They'd say. Or worse, investing is only for the rich. These weren't financial barriers. They were mental walls. Fear, misinformation, and a deep loyalty to outdated ideas were keeping them stuck in financial stagnation. He realized that schools teach you how to pass tests, not how to grow wealth. Most people know how to use a credit card, but not how to invest in ETFs. They understand how to spend, not how to generate passive income. Lucas started calling this out gently. You're not broke because you don't earn enough. You're broke because no one taught you how money multiplication really works. It hit people like a cold splash of truth. And so, Lucas made it his mission to talk about the stuff that matters. The financial discipline it takes to break free, the courage to ditch fear, and the boldness to shift your entire mindset. He'd say, you don't need to be a genius, just willing. Read, test, learn, start. Because once people do get it, once they see what's possible, they stop chasing money and learn how to make it chase them. Lucas came to understand something deep. Wealth isn't built with hustle alone. It's built with time, patience, and the quiet power of compound interest. No flashy moves, no lucky breaks. Just small, smart decisions made over and over again. He realized that the people who achieve true financial freedom don't chase quick wins. They embrace the long game and let the math do the heavy lifting. Financial discipline became his lifestyle, not his punishment. Every dollar had a mission. Every investment had a reason. While others were busy flexing, Lucas was planting seeds. And it showed, not just in his bank account, but in his peace of mind. He no longer lost sleep over bills or unexpected expenses. He had systems, safety nets, and streams of passive income quietly working in the background. What made the difference? Understanding how money multiplication works, leveraging the rule of 72, and respecting the power of early action. Lucas stopped running after money. Instead, he created a life where money naturally flowed to him. And now, the question wasn't, how much can I save this year? It was, how can I teach this to others? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, what are you going to do now? Keep letting time slip through your fingers or finally put your money to work for you. You've just seen how something as simple as the Rule of 72 can change your entire financial future. The question is, will you apply it or ignore it like most people do? Are you building your future or just surviving your present? Because wealth doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It rewards those who start early, stay consistent, and think long-term. You've got the knowledge now. The next step? Take action. If this opened your eyes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This channel is all about helping you break free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle and build real financial freedom, one smart move at a time.